You're waking up every morning and the world is testing you before you even brush your teeth. You're getting messages that drain your energy. You're scrolling, comparing, doubting yourself before your feet even hit the floor. Let me tell you something. Life is going to throw storms at you, but you have to decide if you will get soaked or if you will walk through it dry. You have to decide if you will allow it to break you or if you will stand there and say, I am unshakable. Your mindset is the difference between surviving and living. Your mindset is the difference between letting a bad day define your life or using it as fuel to become stronger, faster, sharper. You think because you lost something you cared about, it's over. You think because people are talking about you, it's over. You think because you failed once, you're finished. No, you are not finished until you quit, and you don't have permission to quit on yourself. You need to master the mindset that nothing affects you because nothing outside of you can control you unless you let it. People are going to talk, let them. People are going to doubt you, let them. People are going to leave you, betray you, misunderstand you, and you will be tested. But that test is not there to destroy you. It's there to prove to yourself that you are exactly who you said you are. You are built for this. You are built for moments when it feels like everything is crashing and you get to say, I'm still here. Some of you are waiting for perfect circumstances to show up and start taking your life seriously. There is no perfect day. There is only today. You're waiting for people to support you before you believe in yourself. You're waiting for people to clap for you before you start performing like a champion. You're waiting for everything to be calm before you decide to work on your dreams. Let me tell you, the calm doesn't come before the work. The calm comes after you work, after you grind, after you push through the chaos without letting it change your focus. When you master this mindset, you stop giving your power away. You stop letting people who don't even know your heart decide your future. You stop letting temporary emotions ruin permanent opportunities. You stop letting fear paralyze your progress. You stop letting what they said become your truth, and you stand in your own truth, your own mission, your own standard. You stop being reactive and you start being unstoppable. You're tired because you're carrying weight that doesn't belong to you. You're frustrated because you're trying to control what's out of your control. Master this mindset, and you will realize it's not about what they do, it's about how you respond. It's not about what they think, it's about what you know about yourself. It's not about how hard it gets, it's about how hard you fight when it gets hard. It's about you deciding that nothing, and I mean nothing, affects your purpose, your vision, your daily commitment to show up regardless of how you feel. Every single day, you have to wake up and tell yourself, nothing affects me unless I allow it. You take the negativity and you turn it into fuel. You take the rejection and you turn it into discipline. You take the setbacks and you turn them into comebacks. This is how you separate yourself from the crowd, because most people are living in their feelings, but you are living in your purpose. Your emotions will try to hijack your discipline. Your mind will try to quit before your body needs to. Your fear will try to convince you to shrink. But when you master this mindset, you don't negotiate with fear. You don't negotiate with doubt. You don't negotiate with people's opinions. You stand firm in who you are, what you want, and where you are going. You don't let temporary circumstances make you forget why you started. You don't let temporary people make you forget what you're building. You are unbothered. You are focused. You are driven. You are here to build something that lasts. And that requires you to master your mind before you master your craft. You think it's about talent? It's about your mind. You think it's about resources? It's about your mind. You think it's about who's supporting you? It's about your mind. Because when you master your mindset, nothing affects you. And when nothing affects you, nothing can stop you. Most people live every day allowing everything around them to dictate how they feel and how they show up. And they don't even realize how much power they have given away to circumstances they can't control. They wake up in the morning and the first message they see on their phone sets the tone for the whole day. Someone says something negative and they carry that negativity into every room they walk into. Traffic delays them and they let that frustration bleed into their energy for the entire day. They lose a client, get a bad grade, get criticized, and suddenly their identity and effort shrink because they have allowed something external to dictate their internal state. If you are going to go to the next level in your life, if you are going to become who you were designed to be, you have to stop letting external circumstances control your internal state. You have to develop the discipline to decide how you feel, how you think, and how you respond, regardless of what is happening around you. It is easy to have a good attitude when things are good, but greatness is developed when you learn to control your mind and emotions, even when everything around you is chaos. That's where strength is built. That's where champions are made. That's where mental toughness is developed. You can't afford to let what's outside of you determine what's inside of you, because if you do, you will always be a slave to what happens around you. You will be up when people praise you, down when people criticize you, confident when people support you, and doubting when people don't. You will move with the opinions of others, with the challenges of the day, with the temporary setbacks, forgetting that your power was never supposed to come from outside validation, but from your decision to stay focused, stay centered, and stay locked in on your mission no matter what comes your way. You have to get to a place where you can stand in the middle of storms and keep your peace, where you can hear negativity and refuse to let it sink into your heart, where you can see setbacks and not allow them to take your focus off the bigger picture, where you can lose people and opportunities and still maintain gratitude and forward movement. That is where real growth happens. That is where unshakable confidence is built. That is where you separate yourself from the average mindset that only knows how to perform when everything is perfect. When you stop letting external circumstances control your internal state, you start to live with intention, you start to build consistency, and you start to tap into your true potential because your energy is no longer being drained by things you cannot control. You start waking up and choosing your attitude instead of letting the world choose it for you. You start choosing your focus instead of letting distractions steal your mind. You start choosing your peace instead of letting chaos steal your stability. You start choosing your discipline instead of letting temporary emotions run your life. You start choosing your purpose instead of letting opinions distract your mission. This is the mindset that winners have. This is the mindset that leaders have. This is the mindset that allows you to rise above the noise and build something lasting, something impactful, something that cannot be moved by the winds of criticism, by the storms of setbacks, by the earthquakes of temporary losses. You have to decide that your mind is your responsibility, your focus is your responsibility, your peace is your responsibility, your energy is your responsibility, and your purpose is your responsibility. And that no matter what happens around you, you will not allow it to take control over what is within you. This is the foundation of mental toughness and the birth of a mindset that nothing affects you unless you give it permission to do so. Your mindset is your greatest asset. And too many people spend their entire lives trying to master skills, chasing opportunities, collecting connections, stacking degrees, thinking these things alone will make them successful while ignoring the one thing that determines whether they can sustain any of it, and that is their mindset. You can be the most talented person in the room. You can be the smartest, the fastest, the most connected. But if you don't have the mindset to handle pressure, to handle rejection, to handle the grind, and the discipline it takes to keep showing up when you don't feel like it, your talent will never reach its full potential. Your opportunities will slip through your hands, and your connections will mean nothing if you don't have the consistency to execute when no one is watching. It's your mindset that decides how you interpret failure, how you respond to criticism, how you handle stress, how you push through moments when it feels like everything is falling apart around you. And you have to learn to master your mindset before you can master your craft, because your mindset will determine how far you go, how long you last, how deep you can dig when the world is testing your commitment. Most people think it's about what they know, about who they know, about how gifted they are. But you can take a person with average talent and an unbreakable mindset, and they will outlast and outperform the most talented person who can't control their mind when challenges come. Your mindset is the reason you either keep your focus or get distracted, the reason you either take full responsibility or blame everyone else, the reason you either keep working when it's boring and uncomfortable or quit when it stops being easy. And this is why you must prioritize mastering your mindset above all else if you want to build something that lasts, if you want to become someone who is consistent and dependable, if you want to step fully into your potential. Your mindset will determine whether you see problems as obstacles or opportunities, whether you see setbacks as permanent defeat or temporary lessons, whether you see criticism as a personal attack or a tool for growth, whether you see discomfort as something to avoid or something to embrace. The reason most people stay stuck is not because they lack talent, it's because they lack the mindset to use that talent when the environment isn't comfortable, when people aren't supporting them, when things aren't moving fast, when the results aren't immediate. You have to build a mindset that is stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fears, stronger than your doubts, and stronger than the opinions of others. Because if your mindset is weak, every challenge will look like a reason to quit. Every obstacle will feel like proof that you aren't enough. Every slow season will feel like the end and you will never stay in the game long enough to see what you are truly capable of becoming. Mastering your mindset means taking control of your thoughts before they take control of you. It means speaking life into your vision when everything around you looks empty. It means staying disciplined when you don't feel motivated. It means choosing gratitude when you feel entitled to complain. It means staying patient when you want to rush the process. It means focusing on your growth rather than comparison. It means refusing to let your feelings dictate your actions because you understand that your mind must lead your emotions, not the other way around. Your mindset is your responsibility. And if you don't master it, you will sabotage your own potential. You will waste your opportunities. You will damage your relationships. And you will find yourself cycling through the same patterns over and over again because your mind is not aligned with the discipline and consistency required to build the life you say you want. Never let temporary emotions sabotage permanent goals because every day you will feel things that are real in the moment, but are not worthy of controlling your decisions, your actions, your discipline, and your future. You will wake up some days feeling tired, feeling unmotivated, feeling frustrated, feeling overwhelmed, feeling empty. And if you let those emotions dictate your choices, you will sabotage everything you have been working to build because you allowed a temporary feeling to destroy the consistency required for a permanent result. You have goals that require you to show up regardless of how you feel. You have dreams that require you to keep working even on the days you feel discouraged. You have standards that you set for yourself that you must honor, even when your emotions are pulling you toward comfort, toward excuses, toward laziness, toward quitting. Emotions are signals. They are not commands. They can inform you about what you need to address internally, but they should never be the reason you stop showing up for yourself. They should never be the reason you quit on your potential. They should never be the reason you abandon the process just because it got uncomfortable. Most people live in cycles of starting and stopping, gaining momentum and losing it, feeling motivated and then falling off, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they have not mastered the ability to keep moving forward when their emotions scream at them to stop. When their emotions convince them that temporary discomfort is a reason to step back from their discipline. When their emotions tell them that hard work isn't worth it because the results are taking too long to appear. You have to train yourself to act according to your commitments and not your emotions, because your commitments will take you where you want to go, while your emotions will take you where you feel like going. And where you feel like going in moments of weakness is usually back to comfort, back to habits that don't serve your growth, back to avoiding the work, back to quitting when it gets hard, back to hiding your potential because you don't feel like pushing yourself today. You have to understand that your goals are too important. Your purpose is too important. Your growth is too important. Your legacy is too important to allow a temporary emotion to sabotage what you are building for your future. Your future family is counting on your discipline. Your future self is counting on your consistency. Your community is counting on your commitment. And you can't afford to let a bad mood, a wave of fear, a moment of frustration, or a feeling of doubt destroy what you have been working toward with your discipline, your sacrifices, your long nights, your early mornings, your time, your energy, and your focus. You have to become a person who can feel fear and still move forward, who can feel tired and still show up, who can feel discouraged and still keep working, who can feel frustrated and still remain disciplined, who can feel overwhelmed and still take the next step, because this is how you separate yourself from the crowd. This is how you build consistency. This is how you build character. This is how you build self-respect. This is how you build the mental toughness required to achieve anything worth having. Most people will let a bad day turn into a bad week turn into a bad month turn into giving up on their goals altogether. Not because they were not capable, but because they allowed temporary emotions to become permanent decisions that sabotaged their progress, that killed their momentum, that made them forget why they started, that made them abandon the standard they set for themselves when they were clear about who they wanted to become and what they wanted to achieve. You have to protect your goals from your temporary emotions. And you do that by choosing action over feelings, discipline over comfort, commitment over excuses, and focus over distractions when your emotions are pulling you in the opposite direction. Decide daily that nothing outside you can stop your purpose. Because the moment you open your eyes in the morning, you are entering a world that will test your commitment to what you said you want your life to look like. Every day, distractions will come in forms that look harmless. Comfort will call your name. Fear will whisper doubts, and people will throw opinions, negativity, and their own limitations toward you. But you have to wake up with a decision already made that none of it has the authority to stop you unless you allow it. Your purpose is bigger than opinions. Your purpose is bigger than distractions. Your purpose is bigger than the temporary challenges that try to pull your focus away from the vision you have been given. And if you don't decide daily that nothing will stop you, you will find yourself slowly drifting into a life of excuses, procrastination, and regret because you let the world tell you what is possible instead of standing firm in your purpose and telling the world who you are and what you came here to build. You cannot decide once that nothing will stop you and think it will carry you for a lifetime, because every day your mind will try to talk you out of your greatness. Every day life will present you with reasons to quit, reasons to shrink, reasons to slow down. And it is your responsibility to renew your commitment daily, to wake up and remind yourself of your purpose daily, to declare to yourself that no matter what happens today, you will not let it stop your discipline, your gratitude, your consistency, your focus, your faith, and your work ethic. Most people lose because they are waiting for a day when it will be easy to stay focused, a day when there will be no distractions, a day when everything will be perfect and they will feel fully motivated to act. But the reality is that day never comes. And the people who build something with their lives are the ones who understand that they must decide daily to stay committed in spite of chaos, in spite of discomfort, in spite of setbacks, in spite of fear, and in spite of uncertainty. You have to become so committed to your purpose that you stop giving energy to every negative comment. You stop giving your focus to every distraction. You stop giving your power to every setback. And you stop letting your emotions determine whether or not you act on your goals, because your purpose deserves your consistency even when your feelings are inconsistent. Your future requires you to protect your purpose from temporary situations, from temporary people, from temporary opinions, from temporary feelings. And you protect it by deciding daily that nothing outside you has the power to stop you unless you hand your power over to it. You must learn to remind yourself that you are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for your attitude. You are responsible for your energy, and you are responsible for your reactions. And as long as you control these, you control your future no matter what is happening outside of you. People will doubt you. Challenges will test you. Failures will humble you. And life will not always cooperate with your plans. But your purpose is not dependent on perfect circumstances. It is dependent on your ability to keep moving forward no matter what. It is dependent on your ability to keep showing up when it's uncomfortable, to keep believing when it looks impossible, to keep working when you don't feel like it, to keep giving your best when your best doesn't feel like enough, because your purpose is worth the fight. Your purpose is worth the discomfort. Your purpose is worth the discipline. Your purpose is worth your daily commitment to becoming who you said you would become and building what you said you would build, even when nothing around you looks like it's working in your favor. When you decide daily that nothing outside you can stop you, you live from a place of power, of focus, of alignment, and you build a life that reflects the purpose you were called to fulfill